Number 15. China, the largest power in Asia. With an area of nearly 9.6 million square kilometers, China is the world's third largest country, a giant situated in the heart of East Asia. But what surprises many most is that this nation borders as many as 14 countries, from Russia and India to North Korea and Vietnam, second only to Russia in its number of neighbors. This prime location establishes China as a strategic hub for global trade, investment, and connectivity. A fascinating fact is that although China's vast territory naturally spans 5 time zones, a rarity globally, the entire country officially operates on a single time zone, Beijing time, UTC+8. This leads to some rather interesting situations, such as in far western regions like Xinjiang, where the sun might not rise until after 10 a.m. Or, while people in Xinjiang are just having breakfast, those in Shanghai, thousands of kilometers away, may have already finished their lunch. Speaking of diversity, China's terrain is truly a feast for exploration enthusiasts. From the fertile alluvial plains in the east, the landscape can dramatically shift to the vast, arid Tibetan Plateau in the west. Then, from the vast, harsh Gobi Desert in the north, you might find yourself wandering into dense tropical mountain forests in the south, or onto the Tibetan Plateau, home to Mount Everest, the roof of the world. Within a single country, the landscapes change so dramatically, it's like watching a science fiction film exploring different planets. In terms of climate, China boasts nearly every type imaginable. From the cool temperate monsoon in Beijing and the hot, humid tropics of Hainan Island, to the arid deserts of Xinjiang and the year-round snows of Tibet. This means that if you're adventurous enough, you could potentially ski in the morning and be swimming at a beach by the afternoon, all within a single trip to China. 1 in every 5 people on the planet is a Chinese citizen, a truly staggering figure. With a population exceeding 1.4 billion people, as of 2025 data, China is the second most populous country, trailing only India. The majority of China's population is Han Chinese, accounting for about 90%. However, the nation is also home to 55 other ethnic minorities, including Tibetans, Uyghurs, Mongolians, and Zhuang people. It's no exaggeration to say that China is not just a country, but a vast and incredibly rich cultural universe in miniature, composed of diverse ethnicities. Mandarin is the official language of China, but surprisingly, the country is home to over 300 different languages and dialects. From Cantonese and Hokkien speakers to those who speak Shanghainese, each region often has its own distinct way of speaking, sometimes so different that even Chinese people from different regions must use Mandarin to communicate clearly with one another. Number 14. The beauty of Chinese women. The standard of Asian beauty. Chinese women have long been praised for their elegance and sophistication, epitomizing traditional East Asian beauty. They often possess fair, smooth skin and refined faces with delicate features, bright, sparkling eyes, and a subtly high nose bridge, all harmonizing to create a gentle yet captivating allure. But what makes them truly special is the harmonious blend of tradition and modernity. While upholding East Asian values such as filial piety, courtesy, and a strong emphasis on family, Chinese women today are also confident, decisive in their work, financially independent, and ambitious in their careers. According to a 2023 report by the Hurun Research Institute, 63% of the world's self-made female billionaires hail from China, far surpassing the US and Europe combined. Prominent female CEOs, founders, and scholars are no longer a rarity, but an increasingly common sight, representing the new generation of Chinese women. In matters of love, Chinese women are often reserved and subtle. They don't rush to reveal their emotions, but once they choose a partner, it's a decision rooted in understanding and trust. They express care through small, thoughtful gestures, and are also prepared to establish clear boundaries when necessary. If you think dating and marrying a Chinese woman is a difficult endeavor, don't worry. Today, many of them, particularly those who are educated and successful, are proactively choosing foreign partners, often perceiving foreign men as more respectful and open-minded than their Chinese counterparts. Cross-border, East meets West. Romances are blossoming, not just on dating apps, but also within international student communities, business circles, and global networks. Would you like to know how to connect with Chinese women and the secrets to winning their hearts? Comment with the number 9, and we'll reveal them to you right away. Note 13, Chinese people invented even toilet paper. China's first truly revolutionary invention was paper. In 105 AD, Kai Lun, an official of the Han Dynasty, is credited with inventing paper by pulping tree bark, rags, and fishing nets, then filtering and drying the mixture. This simple method completely revolutionized how people recorded information, replacing cumbersome bamboo slips and expensive silk with a material that was significantly lighter, cheaper, and easier to produce. Astonishingly, it wasn't until the 12th century that Europe gained access to paper-making techniques over a millennium later than China. The surprises don't end there. China also accidentally concocted gunpowder from an error made during alchemical experiments. Taoist alchemists during the Tang Dynasty were attempting to create an elixir of immortality by heating mixtures containing sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter. Instead, they accidentally created a powder that burned violently, the first gunpowder in human history. Initially, it was primarily used for fireworks to add excitement to festive occasions. Who could have imagined that it would later become a weapon that completely changed the face of warfare? Then came the compass, an invention that ushered in an entire maritime era for humankind. As early as the 11th century, the Chinese discovered that when a lodestone was fashioned into a spoon shape and placed on a bronze plate, it would consistently point south. This simple innovation quickly became an indispensable navigational tool at sea. Just imagine, without the compass, would Columbus have had the audacity to cross the Atlantic to discover the Americas? Perhaps the entire age of discovery would have arrived much later. With a passion for disseminating knowledge, China continued to pioneer printing technology. First came woodblock printing in the 7th century, where an entire page of a book was carved onto a wooden block for mass printing. By the 11th century, a commoner named Bi Sheng invented movable type using baked clay, which could be flexibly arranged to print various texts. While Europe was still laboriously handwriting each manuscript, books in China were already being reproduced at a rate of thousands of copies per day. Among these inventions, which do you find the most surprising? Or which do you think has had the greatest impact on the modern world? Leave a comment with the number 8 to let us know. Number 12. The world's largest tea producer. China is the cradle of tea culture and also a global superpower in tea production. Accounting for over 40% of global output, China not only leads in quantity, but has also made tea an indispensable part of life, integral to everything from family meals and diplomatic rituals to religious ceremonies and even philosophy. So, what has enabled China to become the king of the global tea industry? It's the incredibly favorable natural conditions for tea cultivation, rolling high mountain regions, ideal atmospheric humidity, and frequent fog, a perfect combination for producing high-quality tea leaves. Famous tea-growing regions such as Fujian, Yunnan, and Zhejiang all boast these prime conditions. Tea plants here are cultivated at various altitudes, from a few hundred to thousands of meters above sea level, with each region and altitude yielding a distinct and unmistakable tea flavor. Beyond excelling in quantity, Chinese tea is also virtually unrivaled in its diversity. From the famous Longjing green tea of Hangzhou, with its delicate grassy aroma, to Tieguanyin, a renowned oolong exuding an orchid fragrance, and then to naturally fermented pu'er, which, like vintage wine, becomes more prized and expensive with age. Each type of tea not only offers a unique flavor, but also tells the story of the land from which it originates. But perhaps most intriguing is a tea once considered the supreme offering for emperors: virgin tea. According to legend, only virgin maidens were permitted to pick this tea, and not with their hands, but with their mouths. The tea leaves were then carefully placed onto golden trays, avoiding any contact with bare hands to preserve their pure, delicate flavor. While the authenticity of this story cannot be verified today, it underscores how, in Chinese culture, tea was once a potent symbol of purity, power, and sacredness. Number 11. China has its own social media ecosystem. If you find yourself unable to browse Facebook, watch YouTube, or tweet as usual while traveling in China one day, don't assume your device is broken. The truth is, China operates a completely distinct internet ecosystem. Most popular international platforms like Google, Facebook, Instagram, and X are inaccessible there. They are all blocked by a colossal internet control system, known as the Great Firewall. or metaphorically, the digital Great Wall. This isn't just an ordinary firewall, it's a complex censorship system implemented by the Chinese government to control information flow, protect domestic data, and maintain what it terms digital sovereignty. To bypass this barrier and access international sites, you'll need a VPN, a tool familiar to many international visitors to this nation of over 1 billion people. So, what do people in China use instead? Meet WeChat. It's the #1 super app in China, combining everything: messaging, social networking, e-wallets, booking medical appointments, shopping, paying taxes, and more. People often say, losing your wallet is no big deal, but losing WeChat is like losing your entire life. That's how crucial this app is. Weibo is the most popular open social network, like a hybrid of X and Instagram. It's the turf for celebrities, KOLs, government agencies, and the vast Chinese populace. Baidu is the market-dominating search engine, replacing Google. Beyond just search, Baidu also offers maps, cloud services, AI, self-driving car technology, and more, and is considered a top domestic competitor to Google. What are your thoughts on a self-sufficient digital world like China's? Comment with the number 7 if you'd be willing to try living for a week without Google, YouTube, or Facebook. Number 10, where ancient, modern, and futuristic architecture coexist. In China, you can traverse thousands of years in just a few subway stops. It's one of the rare countries where ancient architecture, modern marvels, and futuristic visions coexist on the same land, creating a spectacular and richly contrasting urban tapestry. Start with the Forbidden City, the world's largest imperial palace, situated right in the heart of Beijing, boasting over 980 ancient structures. Its entire architecture was reportedly constructed without a single nail, all adhering to strict feng shui principles. Every roof tile, pillar, and crimson wall embodies the architectural essence of the Ming and Qing dynasties. The Forbidden City is not only a symbol of imperial power, but also a testament to the enduring legacy of Eastern culture. Stepping into the 21st century, China continues to awe the world with its ambitious modern architectural achievements. Prominent among these is the Shanghai Tower, currently the world's third tallest building at 632 meters, which makes a striking impression, with its unique spiral design soaring skywards, and its incorporation of numerous environmentally friendly technologies. And if you thought that was the pinnacle, consider Zhangjiajie, home to a hanging glass bridge stretching 430 meters, which once held the world record for length. Or a building 3D printed in under 24 hours, heralding a new era in the construction industry. Notably, China is also constructing an entire smart city, Xiang'an, where everything is planned using AI, green energy, and advanced technologies. A true urban model designed for the future. It seems then that Chinese architecture will continue to offer many marvels that will leave us jaw-droppingly amazed in the years to come. Number 9. $10 iPhones, $20 Chanel bags. Only in China. In China, you can find an iPhone, a pair of Nike shoes, or even a Chanel bag for as little as 1/10 of the original price. The cities of Shenzhen and Yiwu are synonymous with the moniker counterfeit havens. Yiwu, in particular, is even dubbed the world's largest fake goods supermarket. Here, you can find all sorts of fake goods, from clothing, handbags, and watches to complex electronic components. Notably, there are even shopping areas dedicated to grade A fakes, products so elaborately counterfeited that even connoisseurs sometimes have to look very closely to distinguish them from the genuine articles. But China's replication efforts don't just stop at small consumer goods. They've gone bolder by constructing replicas of world-famous architectural landmarks such as the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty, Venice, London Bridge, and even the Austrian village of Hallstatt, creating entire copycat European-style towns. Despite copyright controversies, these replicas are extremely popular with domestic tourists. Major brands and high-tech products like Apple, Adidas, and Gucci are also among the most frequent victims of counterfeit goods in China. The market saw countless long-lost twin versions emerge with names that sounded both familiar and slightly off, such as MyPhone, Adibos, or even Dolce & Banana. At a glance, they look just like the genuine articles. Only by scrutinizing every detail could one spot the difference. From a pair of sneakers to an entire miniature Europe, China demonstrates that if there's an original, they can make a copy, which sometimes even sells better than the genuine article. What are your thoughts on this world of fakes? Comment with the number 6 if you've ever encountered items that looked familiar but were just a bit off. Number 8. An entire village lives underground. The 4,000-year mystery of Yaodong. If you've ever thought that modern people only live above ground in multi-story houses or skyscraper apartments, then consider a visit to China's Henan province, where an entire village has thrived for over 4,000 years. Underground. This is Sanmenxia village, where unique pit dwellings, known as Yaodong, have become an inseparable part of the residents' lives. Standing on the surface, you'll see almost no houses or people passing by. But venture 6-7 meters below, and a completely different world unfolds before your eyes. A place where an entire community lives, cooks, studies, and rests within the earth, almost like something out of a fairy tale. The structure of the Yaodong truly astounds modern architects. Each dwelling here is typically built in a square shape, with each side measuring 10 to 12 meters. The main entrance to each Yaodong cluster is typically a sloping tunnel leading down to a spacious central courtyard, from which separate living chambers branch off. An incredibly clever design feature of these villages is the ingeniously constructed surrounding drainage system, ensuring that rainwater or even floods can hardly visit the homes nestled deep below. Completing such a Yaodong dwelling requires 2-3 years of continuous work, a testament to the perseverance and ingenuity of the local inhabitants. The marvel of the Yaodong lies not only in its unique beauty but also in its cost-effectiveness and eco-friendliness. Being underground, the internal temperature remains stable, warm in winter and cool in summer, without the need for air conditioning or heating. Construction is also cost-effective, utilizes local resources, and minimizes pollution, creating a form of zero-carbon living that dates back thousands of years. Number 7. Spending millions to learn the art of stealing someone's lover. In China, some rather peculiar classes exist, including intensive training courses on how to conquer the hearts of married men. It might sound like a joke, but in reality, some discrete courses have emerged with tuition fees reaching up to $4,000 USD, specializing in training women how to approach, seduce, and ultimately convince men to leave their wives. The instructors are often experienced third parties themselves, self-proclaimed experts in capturing hearts. They teach a full range of tactics, from the art of communication and psychological manipulation to methods for maintaining a clandestine affair while keeping the man infatuated. Some courses reportedly even include practical exercises. However, at the complete opposite end of the spectrum, another profession is reportedly thriving in China. Services offered by experts who advise third parties to withdraw. This work is undertaken by lawyers and psychologists who specialize in helping these homewreckers understand the legal consequences, social pressures, and the pain inflicted on those involved. Such a consultation package is far from cheap, potentially costing up to 100,000 CNY, approximately $14,000 USD. It could be said that while one side teaches how to interfere in a marriage, the other helps them withdraw with a semblance of honor. Number 6. In China, even beggars use QR codes. In China, if you pull out cash to pay for something, people might look at you as if you're from a bygone era. That's because China is at the forefront of the cash eradication movement. From bustling cities to remote rural areas, nearly everyone navigates daily life using just a QR code. From supermarkets and taxis to street food stalls, every transaction requires just one simple action: scanning a QR code. Even street vendors, farmers, and yes, even beggars have their own QR codes, often printed on cardboard and displayed prominently for passers-by to easily make digital transfers. For international tourists, this scene is like stepping into a science fiction movie, both bewildering and incredible. And if you thought that was modern, then Smile to Pay, a payment method using facial recognition, will likely make you exclaim, "Absolutely cutting edge." Facial recognition technology is widely implemented in restaurants, shopping malls, and even at vending machines. Simply stand in front of the machine, look at the camera, and smile. Your payment will be automatically deducted. No cash, No phone, just your face. However, the flip side of this convenience can be a bit of a headache for foreign tourists. As international credit cards are seldom accepted and cash usage is becoming increasingly obsolete, many foreigners find themselves bewildered and struggling with domestic payment apps like WeChat Pay or Alipay, which typically require a Chinese bank account. It seems then that if you're planning a trip to China, learning how to use Alipay or WeChat Pay is just as crucial as picking up a few basic Chinese phrases. Number 5. Brides sleep with 20 men before getting married. Let's begin with the ancient Tibetan custom of trial sleep before marriage. In some historical Tibetan minority communities, a bride wouldn't choose her husband through matchmaking or romantic love, but rather through practical experience. Before marriage, she would reportedly have relations with multiple men in the village, sometimes even up to 20. After each trial sleep, she would keep a token, almost like a tally. Ultimately, the man who she felt was most satisfactory in terms of health, perceived fertility, and overall compatibility would be chosen as her husband. While this custom is believed to be no longer widespread or has significantly diminished today, it once existed as a rather unique form of premarital assessment in the past within some communities. Another example of diverse marital customs comes from the Mosuo ethnic group, who primarily inhabit southwestern China. Mosuo women do not marry in the traditional sense. There are no legal ties or elaborate wedding ceremonies. Instead, they freely choose their partners, and the men visit them at night, quietly departing by early morning. This is often referred to as a walking marriage. Children born from these unions take the mother's surname and are raised within her matrilineal family, while the father is sometimes considered merely a night guest. This is a discrete marital model that has existed for centuries without being deemed improper or wrong within their culture. Finally, one must mention an interesting and somewhat intriguing custom of the Bai people in Yunnan province, the traditional festival known as Rao Sang Ling. This festival, lasting 3 days each year, is a time when married individuals are permitted to meet and reportedly even spend the night with their former lovers. The stated purpose is not betrayal, but rather to allow individuals a chance to resolve lingering emotions from past relationships, show respect for past affections, and it's sometimes even seen as a subtle protest against the forced marriages of older times. Number 4. Timeless destinations in China. China stands out not only for its modern architectural marvels, but also for possessing destinations that seem to have transcended the flow of time, places preserving thousands of years of culture and history. The Great Wall is a symbol of human will and endurance across numerous dynasties. Stretching over 21,000 kilometers, this colossal defensive structure was built continuously over many centuries. Interestingly, contrary to popular rumor, you cannot see the Great Wall from the moon with the naked eye, but it is visible from low Earth orbit. And even more surprisingly, in some ancient sections of the wall, sticky rice was reportedly mixed with lime mortar to create a binding agent, an incredibly resilient and creative solution. The Potala Palace in Lhasa, Tibet, often described as a spiritual jewel amidst the Himalayas, was once the residence and ceremonial seat of successive Dalai Lamas. Situated at an altitude of 3,700 meters, the structure houses over 1,000 rooms, each space imbued with profound spiritual meaning and majestic architecture. It is not only a religious icon, but also an artistic masterpiece set against the backdrop of Tibet's mountains and skies. Finally, there is Lijiang Old Town, also known as the Venice of the East. With its system of canals interlaced with ancient wooden houses, bluestone paths, and moss-covered tiled roofs, Lijiang is recognized by UNESCO as a World Cultural Heritage Site. This ancient town not only preserves the traditional architecture of the Naxi ethnic group, but also evokes the feeling of stepping into a love song from the past, a place where you can sip tea, listen to the strains of ancient music, and immerse yourself in a rare tranquility. Number 3. Traditional festivals in China. If you want to experience Chinese culture in its most complete and vibrant form, don't miss the chance to participate in their colorful and deeply meaningful traditional festivals. This is when you'll see a truly different side of China, bustling, warm-hearted, and preserving cultural values that are thousands of years old. First, there's the Lunar New Year, the largest and most important festival of the year. During this time, cities seem to light up. Red lanterns are strung across streets, Firecrackers explode thunderously, and cozy family feasts can last for hours. What often surprises visitors is that the New Year celebrations in China don't just last a few days but can extend for up to a whole month, featuring a series of activities such as giving red envelopes, lion dances, banquets, and traffic jams caused by grand family reunions. An interesting and important custom during this period is Zongdut, first footing. The first person to enter a home in the initial moments of the new year is believed to bring good luck and prosperity to the entire family for the whole year. If Lunar New Year marks the beginning of the year, then the Mid-Autumn Festival is a time for family reunion and expressing gratitude. On the night of the full moon, the 15th day of the 8th lunar month, people all over gaze at the moon, eat mooncakes, the traditional pastry, and release lanterns as a way to illuminate their heartfelt wishes for peace. Mooncakes are not just gifts. They are symbols of completeness and fulfillment, presented to relatives, friends, and colleagues as a wish for lasting happiness. And to conclude the New Year festivities in the most dazzling way, the Chinese celebrate the Lantern Festival on the 15th day of the first lunar month. Red lanterns adorn streets, villages, and small alleys everywhere, their shimmering light seeming to guide the way to a peaceful new year. People throng the streets to enjoy traditional foods like tang yuan, sweet glutinous rice balls, play riddles, admire the lanterns, and write wishes on lanterns to release into the night sky, as if sending auspicious dreams for the future. Number 2. The 4 great schools of Chinese cuisine. Chinese cuisine stands out not only for its vast diversity of dishes, but also for its 4 great culinary traditions, which represent the pinnacle of culinary culture in this nation of over 1 billion people. These 4 traditions are Sichuan, Cantonese, Jiangsu, and Shandong, each offering a distinct culinary identity, from cooking methods and flavors to its underlying philosophy. Sichuan cuisine is a paradise for those who adore spicy food. Its hallmark is the distinct, numbing, spicy flavor derived from Sichuan peppercorns, a spice that can make the tip of your tongue tingle as if from an electric shock. Signature dishes like Sichuan hot pot or Sichuan fried rice are an explosion of flavor, making even the most brave-hearted diners gasp and reach for water. It is widely regarded as one of the world's spiciest cuisines. In complete contrast is Cantonese cuisine, characterized by its light, delicate flavors that emphasize the natural freshness of ingredients over heavy seasoning. A prime example is dim sum, a collection of small, exquisitely prepared dishes like steamed buns, shrimp dumplings, and siumai, typically enjoyed for breakfast or as part of a tea brunch. All embody a high degree of artistry and subtlety in their enjoyment. Jiangsu cuisine impresses with its balance of delicate sweetness and visually stunning presentation. Chefs here emphasize cooking techniques that preserve the ingredients' natural flavors. Dishes such as steamed fish or meat-filled buns are prepared with a light, refined touch, showcasing a high aesthetic sensibility in their culinary art. Finally, Shandong cuisine is distinguished by its rich, savory flavors, generous portions, and an emphasis on fresh seafood. Dishes are often prepared by stewing, simmering, or braising, resulting in distinctive broths that are clear and highly nutritious. Some signature dishes include a refreshing seafood soup and crispy pan-fried buns with a golden brown crust and an aromatic meat filling. Do you see yourself leaning towards fiery spiciness, sweet subtlety, or a hearty seafood style? Leave a comment below if you'd like to explore more about Chinese cuisine. Number 1. Cost of living in China. The cost of living in China varies considerably depending on where you choose to live. In major cities like Beijing or Shanghai, renting a one-bedroom apartment typically costs between $600 and $900 USD per month. Conversely, in smaller provincial areas or towns, rental prices are significantly more affordable, ranging from just $150 to $350 USD per month. Ideal for those who prefer a budget-conscious lifestyle or wish to immerse themselves in the local community. If you enjoy cooking, preparing your own meals can lead to significant savings. Monthly food expenses for home cooking typically range between $230 and $280 USD. However, if you prefer convenience or simply want to explore China's distinctive street food, the good news is that a meal at an inexpensive eatery or local restaurant costs only $3 to $7 USD, delicious, affordable, and authentically local. Getting around within cities is also very convenient. thanks to extensive subway and bus systems in major urban centers. On average, you'll only need to spend around $15 to $20 USD per month to use public transportation efficiently. For those interested in health and fitness, gym membership fees in China are quite reasonable, typically falling between $30 and $50 USD per month. Many gyms here are equipped with modern machinery and have professional trainers available to assist you. The total monthly cost of living in China generally ranges from $880 to $1,800 USD, depending on your lifestyle and chosen location. With such a budget, you can fully enjoy a quality life with ample amenities in a country that is constantly innovating. China is an overwhelmingly vast country, with countless wonders still waiting to be discovered. And our journey of discovery has only just begun. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the Discovery Globe channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our amazing upcoming journeys. See you in the next video. The information is for reference only, so please do your own research before making any decisions.